water and memory. Let's look at the research of Emoto. The human body is mostly consisting of water. What has Emoto proven is that in the water there are memories that is either form of crystals or, like in the case of the Hitler photo, some form that represents the understanding of the observer and the relationship that the observer have with the water. Within this context, what Emotos show is that you can actually photograph the individual memories of the person who would be influencing the particular water drop that is being photographed. So if we look at the Hitler situation, you have the experiment where they have the water and then somebody write down the word Hitler and put the word Hitler on the water sample, and then they freeze it, and then they take a photograph, and they have this ugly photo of how the water looked like. What you are really looking at is the memory and the judgment, which in this case, and in most cases on Earth, is pre-programmed, is the memory and the judgment of the person that wrote the word Hitler about how he sees Hitler. And Hitler is seen as all evil, and therefore the water take on the idea of evil that the observer or the human have. And that is the status of the current way the human is living. You are through a process of imaging and memory, and which is in some cases a slow process, in other cases a fast process. So you, for instance, will have a fast memory imaging system through your eyes and your experiences and your resonances, but you will have a slow one when you have to go and study particularly written knowledge and so on. So you have different input systems into the organic vessel and the dimensional mind that is within it, and which is interacting with the water. You have various imaging systems which will have various speeds within time, which will then facilitate the memories necessary for you to build a pre-programmed personality, to build your preferences, your judgments, your ideas, and all of that is being manipulated. It is understood at some degree that it is possible to be manipulated, but it's not completely understood how it exactly works. So Emoto got quite close to it in terms of his imaging with water crystals, and this should be used in psychology, for instance, in establishing what is a person's particular memory problem, because when you have a psychological problem, you have a memory problem, you have saved information, you have saved knowledge about you or your world in a way that is not working best for all within the society, and therefore you have a problem which can be through, this is still have to be actually proven in the physical, but if you look at the theory thus far, you'll be able to photograph the particular imaging point that is existent about the judgment that exists. So you'll have, on average, from the person that is holding a judgment about Hitler, you will have a similar type of photograph when you are photographing their memory about Hitler. It will be in intensity and in severity according to their judgment that they're holding about Hitler. That gives you an idea that how it works. Obviously, this whole drive that is developed around the whole idea of crystals is a complete lack of understanding and is purely being abused for consumerism. You are going to have crystals, for instance, for the point of joy and love and all of those kind of points within the water, because that's the belief that it is apparently beautiful, and the beauty has been linked to crystals for some time. So the observer influenced that, and accordingly you are looking at the structural design of the system according to the way you understand it as observer. You're not looking at how it really looks like, you're only looking at yourself all the time. And that's the beauty of what Emoto has revealed, although this is not understood yet, and how it can actually help us to sort out consciousness. Unfortunately, it has been completely misdirected and is completely missed the point about the photography of water. In the future, the photographing of the water and the research in terms of a person's personality, design and designers, who they are, will be scientifically be able to be assessed. And from that perspective, we'll be able to assist people very effectively in this world. So the basic science is there, it's just not understood yet. Another point which is important and worthwhile to consider is the point of iridology. In iridology is the photography of the eye. And what Jensen and others has proven is that through the photography of the eye, you can actually go back in time and assess a person's past, and you can look at the current state of health. It is similarly to photographing the ear rings of a tree, where you can see the various influences. And in my experience, for instance, when I was with the iridologist, they could tell me what type of diseases I had at what age. They could tell me what type of surgery I had at what age. And all of it was reflected within the eyes. So it's a very effective technical way where memories are reflected within a particular mapping design, so that it assists in looking at the physical human and making effective diagnostics. So I would suggest that iridology in the future would probably or possibly be the way to do non-invasive diagnostics that will have a very high degree of clarity and effectiveness. So investigate, we will in time look at this more intensely, but that is some of the points that is necessary. If one look at the current type of diagnostics used in the medical field, that is primarily being controlled by the pharmaceuticals and the use of broad spectrum chemicals, and definitely not the way to go. There is better ways to be able to look at the situation. Unfortunately, not many people are qualified, most has not studied this kind of stuff, because they're influenced to go the consumerism and the money way. So if you have it in you to become somebody that changed the system, we need people to study iridology, and we need to do more research on the water. We were looking at eventually building such a laboratory on the Destiny farm, so one can go through this extensively. We are far from that, as we will need extensive funding to be able to build the type of laboratories that will be acceptable, so we can prove what we have already seen interdimensionally, exactly how it works, and that will change the way the human is viewed and psychology in the world is viewed. We are at the front of all research that could ever be at this stage. Yes, it sounds extensive, it sounds like we're making a claim, but look very carefully at what we are saying, and you'll note that we must have had a view that nobody else had to be able to come up with these things, and to be able to, for instance, take on a point like the Emoto photography, and in a common sense way explain to you how it really actually works, and that the current understanding of it is a complete miss of the situation. So investigate destiny, and when you are reacting, that means if we stir your water, we are purely stirring your memories. And when we are stirring your memories, your crystals or your judgments, whatever is contained as you, as personality in your water, comes out as your reaction to the destiny material. It only proves you are pre-programmed and that you are an organic robot, that you are unable to actually consider new information in this world. As you notice, we are going out of our way to stir the water, because that's the only way you're going to end up realizing that everything you are is in fact a lie, and that you need help. You're not going to be able to do this alone. You're going to need help because who you are now, you didn't create all alone by yourself. You created that through multiple imaging systems in multiple time frames, through multiple environmental systems and people, and the end result is the accumulated effect of what you have accepted and allowed. And therefore it's going to take many years to sort out the brainwashing. And when we are indicating to you that you have a problem by your reaction to the destiny material, be grateful that somebody cared enough to take you to the point where you can see the evil that resides within you as your memories and your judgments. Join us at Destiny. Due to the propensity of the human desire to be famous and abusive, we have only at this stage starting to give out more information about the water scenario. Obviously, we're not going to give all the information because some will then claim that it is their discovery. It is not a discovery. It is how things actually exist. You cannot discover these things. You see it directly. And therefore you will then do it in a way that is best for all. You will not attempt to build consumer products out of it, or attempt to build ways where you become famous, or attempt to build ways where you can make a lot of money. You will do what is best for all because you can see directly. Anyone that does things from the perspective of not bringing around or bringing about a system that's best for all, and abusing this information that we are setting out, and many has already done that with the information we put out and created their own ideas, trying to sell the ideas we have shown through Destiny and try and make money out of it. That is not what we do. We are here to bring about a new system. So make sure you don't fall in that trap. If you understand what Destiny say and you have respect for yourself, you'll walk with Destiny. If you have respect for life, you will walk with Destiny. If you have respect for the universe, you'll walk with Destiny, and you'll stop your abuse. You'll stop the point where you are inclined to want to be special, to want to make money out of things, to want to be rich, to want to be famous, to want to be noticed. Stop want to be something and be the answer that will change the world for real. And that's only possible if everyone work together as one. That is real oneness. And you have to do it in a way where no one can ever again abuse another, which is equality. Oneness and equality. You see, we have the answer. Do you have the guts to let go of your ego?